What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to League Racing here today for Race Spec Esports, the Elite Series. Round number, what are we? Round number 8 for the French Grand Prix today. That sounds about right. First off, if you don't want to listen to me prattle on, just skip ahead to whatever time it says on the screen right now. And if you're still here, then alright, let's go. First off, I want to say thank you once again. I know I've said it probably 100 times now, if not more, but thank you so much, honestly. The support in such a short amount of time has been unreal, so thank you very much. And another thing is, there'll be no video from AOR this week. We actually we didn't race last night. A few people were away watching the NRL Grand Final or something, so we decided to postpone it, and I don't know, I wasn't paying that much attention. It's all in a bit of a muddle, I think, at the moment, but anyway, we won't worry about AOR. We're here today for the Elite Series, so hopefully we can have a good run of things. LR Carslow not here today, unfortunately, but let's get into qualifying and hopefully we can have a good one. Alright, here we are qualifying for the French Grand Prix. Dry weekend, thankfully we don't have to worry about rain. We're going to go out at the start of the session on a set of hard tyres. The strategy for most people, I think, would be the one-stop mediums to hard.
Checks complete.
I think it's just the fastest way around here, to be honest. I think the softs are, they're just an atrocious race tyre. That's just my personal opinion. Other people might be able to somehow make them work. But me personally, I've tried many different things, and the tyre temperatures on the softs are just unreal, just undrivable after about a lap. But coming around now to finish our first lap on our hard tyres. Been a pretty decent lap, few mistakes here and there. Come across the line, provisionally go P2 on a 1:37.1. Not too bad, can definitely go faster, so we'll tone everything down, have a cool down lap, recover a bit of ARS, save a bit of fuel, and we'll go again to hopefully try and maybe pit Contrast, who is currently on provisional pole on the soft compound tyres. So interesting to see him going for what is more than likely going to be a two-stop on that strategy. Purple in Sector 1 for us, got on to the end of Sector 2, and we're still up by about 2/10. We're not purple in the second sector though, so we're going to have to put in a pretty damn good final sector to try and jump the Ferrari. Coming around the final couple of corners now, little lock up on the right front. No, it cost us just a little bit of time. Max overtake on the ERS, up to the line, and almost, not quite, about 900 shy off the Ferrari, so very, very close to knocking Contrast off provisional pole. At this point though, honestly, I don't think it really matters. Obviously everyone's going to be going out on the mediums for what is basically a one-shot qualifying. It's a lot like Bahrain in a way, this track. Everyone who really wants to win the race will be going for this alternate strategy and starting on the middle compound of tyre. So hopefully we can make this work for us. I think the time is probably going to be a mid to low 130 that we're going to want to try and beat. So hopefully we can beat that, and if not get pole position, at least put ourselves on the front two rows so we can hopefully have a clean start to the race. We went out again on the hard compound tyres, did a hot lap, but didn't complete it, just basically just did that to pass the time. But we're going out on the medium tyres now for, as I said, what is effectively a one-shot qualifying here at the French Grand Prix. Jump a line, and I think currently on provisional pole on the softs as well, but we'll cut onto our lap now. Purple in Sector 2. This has been a pretty good lap. There was a little mistake in Turn 1, so there's probably 2/10, maybe 3/10 in this lap at the moment, but it's still been pretty good. We nailed the chicane, I suppose, if that's what you want to call it, in the middle of the back straight, but coming around to finish the lap now, we're currently in P7. So we're going to need to put a pretty damn good lap in here to hopefully push us up towards the front, round the final corner, max fuel mixture, hot lap on the ERS, up to the line, and it's going to provisionally be P2 alongside John Verleinen But as we cut on to the end, let's have a look at the results. And I think we actually get knocked down a spot, and we do, and so does John as well. So Miku in the Williams takes a unexpected pole position here at the French Grand Prix on the soft tyres. John Polainen in second, ourselves in third. Bullet Boy in fourth alongside us on the mediums. I reckon he's going to be a bit of a threat today, but let's get into the race. No radio messages or anything, Jeff? Okay, alright, he doesn't want to talk to us today. But welcome guys to the grid of Race Spec Esports, the Elite Series, the French Grand Prix. That didn't come out the way I had it planned at all, but we won't worry about that. Setup, I thought I'd try something a little bit different. Normally I think I'm running around 4.6 or 4.7 wings or something, so I'll try something a little bit different. I will admit I didn't really like how the car handled. It felt really on edge. And my personal preference is that I like a stable car. Just lets me feel like I can push a bit harder, but we made a few little tweaks and whatnot in practice beforehand, and the setup felt pretty good here in the race. Qualifying it was on edge, probably a bit more than I'd like, as I was saying, but in the race it didn't feel too bad. Can still tweak the setup a little bit. I still think there's more time in it. But enough about that. We're coming back around now to reform on the grid. Miku in the Williams, starting from pole position. John Polainen in the Haas, starting from P2, both on the soft compound tyres. Then myself and Bullet Boy in the Racing Point on row 2, both of us on the mediums. So it'll be interesting to see if we can get a good start and maybe try and attack the top 2. And I don't know what everyone else is doing behind us. But reforming, back on the grid now, you've got Contrast right behind as well. So he could pose a bit of a threat in the early stage, we'll wait and see. But here we are, waiting for the last couple of people to reform, wait for everyone to ready up and whatnot. Just waiting for everyone, and there we go. Alright, awaiting 5 red lights for the French Grand Prix, and away we go. Looks like a pretty decent start. Bullet Boy, I think, has actually jumped the start or made a mistake. He's dropping backwards, but we're going to look up the inside of the jumper line, and are we into turn 1? No. Miku defends to the inside. He maintains P1. John slots into second. Will slide into P3. Contrast is now up into P4. Scratch that. Spilly is now up into P4. They're 2-3 wide back there, I think. And it was all a bit chaotic back there. I think Bullet Boy, watching the live stream back, he actually jumped the start. Not by much, only by a little bit. Maybe just got a little bit too excited. But that's one of our main rivals already out of the race, basically. He'll have to serve a stop and go or a drive-through or something. But cutting on near the end of lap 1 now, and John Polainen with a mistake in the long right-hander throws it off the racetrack. Maybe just underestimated how much grip he might have going through there. Runs a little bit wide, and we sneak through to take second place already. So good start to the race for us. Coming on to lap 3 now, fastest lap of the race behind Miku, and DRS has now been enabled, so we might try and mount an attack if we can. A little bit of a mistake into turn 1 there, run a little bit wide, so we'll try and minimise them hopefully. But cutting on to the end of lap 3 now, we're right under the rear wing of the Williams. Will we think about making a move here? Maybe. No, I decide against it. We'll save a little bit of ERS, a little bit of fuel as well coming through this first sector. And what I'm thinking right now is we make a mistake into turn 1, miss the apex by a country mile. Thankfully, I think John actually might have made a little mistake as well, so we weren't under attack from him. Miku runs wide through there, and now he's on the defensive a little bit, so this is going to set us up beautifully. I'm thinking of just trying to make the move with DRS. So here we go. Rich fuel mixture, overtake on the DRS. DRS is enabled. He doesn't defend, which actually surprised me, but we go to the inside, and that is the lead of the French Grand Prix. Let's get it stopped. We're going really deep. We almost actually overrun the corner. Jump a line and having a look at Miku as well, and that actually incentivized me to get on with things a little bit here, because as you, well, you didn't see, but the gap was over a second when we went through that second sector split. So I knew I was out of DRS range, so I thought, alright, I'm going to quicken the pace and just see what I can do. 1:34.7, fastest lap of the race, pretty good. Cutting on to lap 9 now, and we have quite a big gap to the guys behind us. Danny takes the fastest lap of the race away from us, but that's okay. He just made a pit stop for the softs, I believe. But cutting on to lap 11, we're coming in now for a one and only stop on the hard tyres. I think Miku and John both stopped on lap 6, I think. But interestingly enough, Miku has actually gone onto the mediums, while John, like me, has gone onto the hard. So Miku, is he going to do a two-stop, or is he going to try and take those mediums to the end? That's a real ballsy, optimistic move. We'll see how he fares at the back end of this race. I'm expecting to get jumped right here. Stammered on the words there, but anyway. But as you can see, we re-emerge, and we re-emerge back in P1 with clean track right around us. So it appears that both of those guys have got held up in traffic a little bit. Cutting on to lap 13, Spilly takes the fastest lap of the race on a 34.2. No one's dipped down into the 33s yet, oddly enough. I expected at least maybe John or Miku on their faster tyres to maybe dip into the 33s, but nope. Or not yet anyway, but Miku is currently up to third, about to overtake JFD, I think. But cutting on to the end of lap 13, we go for a fastest lap attempt. Personal best in the first two sectors. We come across the line, we should be a fastest lap, and it is. We dip down into the 133s for the first time in this race. Cutting on to lap 15 now, we've got a fair bit of an advantage over Miku and John Polainen. It's damn near about 7 seconds, so just, I'm not going to say cruising to the end of this race, but just got to make sure that we don't make any mistakes, and we should be good to bring this thing home. Speaking of not making mistakes, that's our first warning for exceeding track limits, so we better be a good boy for the rest of this race, otherwise we could end up in a little bit of strife. Miku's still trundling around on those mediums at the moment, keeping up a solid pace as well, I might add. Another fastest lap of the race there from us, a 1:33.7. I was kind of just doing fastest laps when I wanted really right now. JFD retires from the session, and yeah, at this point things were pretty calm and chilled throughout the field. There's a bit of a scrap going on for the minors, I think down in like 7th and 8th and something like that. Coming on to lap 23, we're going for another fastest lap attempt across the line, and we smash that by nearly half a second, 1:33.3. Awesome lap there at this point in the race, and at this point it was all really about bringing it home. And just to show you guys the margin that we have over Miku and John, we got about 12 seconds over those two at the moment, so we really were just able to control the pace and just extend the gap whenever I wanted to, really. I've got to say though, Miku was the real big shock of this race, still on those medium tyres, and John Polainen has just not been able to attack him. I was expecting his mediums to just fall off, I think, just like John would have been, but he's hung in there, come across the line. We tried to get to dip into the 132s, didn't happen. We weren't able to set another fastest lap, but it didn't matter, no one beat it, so it looks like we'll be getting the maximum 26 points, hopefully. But we come on to the final lap, coming around for the final couple of corners, and as you can see, the gap is like 14 odd seconds to Miku and John behind. And Miku, well, I don't know how he's done it, but he's still on the same set of medium tyres that have done 21 laps, and he's made it to the end, and he's going to finish in P2, so well done to him. But we come around the final corner, and it's been a pretty easy race for us, not going to lie, but P1, another win, really, really happy. we go, guys. That has been Race Spec Esports, the Elite Series, here today for the French Grand Prix. Another W in the win column for us, so really happy with that. Congrats to Miku and John for rounding out the podium. Really good drive from Miku there, but that's all from me, guys. If you enjoyed, remember to leave a like, subscribe, stay tuned for plenty more. And until the next video, I'll see you guys next time.